Good morning. So let us go for the next numerical. In case of wave winding, draw the developed winding diagram of the armature of a DC machine with the following data: number of poles 4, number of slots 12, type of winding simplex wave. So now with respect to this data, so he has not given whether it is a double layer or a single layer winding. So always the DC winding will be a double layer winding. Okay, so since only double layer winding is adopted in DC machines, the number of coils, which is equal to number of slots, is equal to 12. So number of conductors will be equal to 24. So now as per the calculation, so commutator pitch YC is equal to C plus or minus 1 divided by pair of poles. So 12 plus or minus 1 divided by 2. So here, since he has not given whether it is a retrogressive winding or a progressive winding, so consider both. So if I consider a progressive winding, 12 plus 1, it is 13 by 2. And if I consider a retrogressive winding, 12 minus 1, it is 11 by 2. So YC leads to a fraction. So fraction winding, if it comes, it is an unbalanced winding. So resulting the fraction, so in case of wave winding, so it must be either an odd integer or an even integer. Suppose if we are getting in fractions, we have to consider one of the coil as a dummy coil. So here comes the statement: since YC has resulted into a fraction, a wave winding is not possible. However, a wave winding can be made possible by considering one of the coil as a dummy. So therefore, the number of active coils will be equal to 11 and active conductors will be 22. So in numerical, he has given 12 slots or 12 coils. So considering one as dummy coil, so we will be getting number of coils as 11 and number of conductors as 22. So now if I go according to this data, so now YC is equal to C plus or minus 1 divided by pair of poles. So 11 plus or minus 1 divided by pair of poles, that is 2. So since he has not given whether a progressive winding or retrogressive winding, let us consider a retrogressive wave winding. So preferably, so for wave winding, so let us consider a retrogressive winding. So number of coils is 11 minus 1 divided by pair of poles. So 11 minus 1, 10, 10 by 2 is 5. So YC is 5. Next YB, since YC is an odd integer, so YB is equal to YC, which is equal to YF. So since YC is odd, back pitch and front pitch are same value. Now let us go for the winding table. So starting from the first conductor, which is connected to back pitch, so 1 plus 5 is connected to 6. So 6 plus 5 is connected to 11. So 11 plus 5, 16. 16 plus 5, 21. So 21 plus 5, it is going for 26. So since the back pitch has been taken into consideration, it comes to the end coil. So end coil 26. So where total number of conductors are 22. So 26 minus 22, it will be 4. So it comes below 6. So similarly, since the back pitch has been already arrived, so leads to under below 6. So 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 5, 19. So again 19 plus 5, it is 24. So 24 minus 22, it is 2. So 2 comes under 4. So like that. So repeat the numbers until the first conductor repeats. So now number of segments is equal to number of active coils is equal to 11. Number of brushes is equal to 2. So brush width is equal to 1 segment width. So here is the procedure how to draw the developed winding diagram. Since we are considering one of the coil as a dummy coil, the procedure has to be maintained. So now draw all the conductor, that is as per the data, it is 12 slots, so that is 24 conductors. So draw all 24 conductors as per the data. So draw all the conductors, that is active plus 2 conductors without numbering. So second point, since any coil placed in the armature slot can be considered as a dummy coil, so preferably consider 1 plus y-bth coil, that is, so first coil which is connected to plus 5, that is 6th coil, so that will be considering it as a dummy coil. So now without numbering the dummy coil, so one we have made as a dummy, so now there are 22 coils has been left. So now number those 22 coils without numbering the dummy coil. So without numbering the dummy conductor, the rest 22 conductors have been numbered. Connect the top and bottom coil as usual. So now here the fifth point is the main consideration. So after connecting first coil and fifth coil as 45 degrees at the back pitch, so draw the front pitch horizontal line. So this you can see in the procedure how the diagram has been drawn. So this procedure has to be followed. Now let us go for the AutoCAD tool. So go for units, consider the centimeters, so okay. Next limits, enter. So lower left corner 0, 0, upper left corner 500, 500, enter. Next type zoom, enter, enter. These are the 3 steps, first 3 steps which has to be followed by going for AutoCAD tool. So now consider a conductor, draw a line, switch on the ortho, draw a line of some distance, enter, come out of the command. So now 24 conductors are there, so go for array, so type array, enter. You will be getting a rectangle. Number of rows will be 1, number of columns will be as per the data, it is 12 slots, so conductors will be 24, column offset 20, select the object, enter, and say OK. So now go for bilayer, go for others, go for load, consider ISO dash space, say OK, OK. Now select all even conductors which are the bottom conductors, is imaginary lines, dotted lines. Now come out of the command. So now procedure starts. So actually 24 conductor has been drawn. So as per the winding table, so I will consider 1 and 6 conductor as a dummy conductor without numbering the conductors. So I will go for a line. So this is the first conductor and here is the 6th conductor. Connect 1 and 6, enter, go for rotate, select the object, enter, select here as the base point, type 45 degrees. Similarly, draw a line 1 to 6, enter, go for rotate, select this line, enter, take the base point and 6th conductor, type -45, enter. So now go for trim command, right click, remove the unwanted portion. So now, so this coil we are considering as a dummy coil. So without numbering the conductors, so draw 45 degrees and consider this as the dummy conductor. So just for our reference, I'll mark this as 1 and 6 as a dummy conductor. So if you want, I can go for gradient. So choose the color here. So I'll go for index, I'll choose the black. So okay. So reduce. So add pick point. So just to add inside. here and here, and say OK. So this comes as the dummy conductor, considering this as the dummy conductor. So now as per the procedure, so we have drawn all the 24 conductors. Okay, so now we have connected 1 and 5, that is the 6th conductor, as a dummy conductor. Now without numbering the dummy conductor, so rest of 22 conductors will be numbered. So how it will be numbered? So I'll go for M text. So type M text, enter. So it is asking first point. I'll click first point here, second point here. Just I'll type 2 as the second conductor and select this. So increase this size as 10 and say OK. So now get this number, switch off the ortho, you can zoom in and place it here. Okay, so now we can double click this and extend the scale. So now this is 2, again this will be 4. So now while coming to this conductor, this is considered as a dummy conductor. I will not number this as the dummy conductor. Okay, so now similarly if I come here, this becomes the 6th conductor. So why? Because so 1 we are considering the dummy conductor, I am not numbering this conductor number. So now this becomes the first conductor. Since we are considering this as dummy, so this will be our first conductor. Next, this will be our third conductor. Odd numbers. So since this will be 6, so this is a dummy coil, we are not numbering that conductor. This becomes the 5th conductor. Now this becomes the 6th conductor. So now as usual, this will be 8, this will be 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. So as per the calculation, so we are considering 22 conductors. So considering 1 and 6 as the dummy conductor which has not numbered. So now as usual, connect the back pitch conductors. So go for RA, enter. So 12 columns will be there. So column offset will be 40. So because from this conductor to the bottom conductor it is 20, so solid to solidity will be 40. So now select the object. So select these 2 lines. Okay, sorry, just a second. So make this as the dotted line. Say okay. Now go for array, enter. So now 12 columns, column offset will be 40. Select the object, select these 2 lines, enter and say okay. So next, while coming to the front pitch, so as per the winding table, so 1 is connected to 6, 6 is connected to 11. So here this is the first conductor. So 1 is connected to 6, so 6 will be connected to 11. So now go for line. So from 6 draw a line up to the 11th conductor. Here is the 11th conductor. Enter. Go for rotate. Select this line. Enter. Take the base point at the 6th line So minus 45 degrees, enter. Now similarly go for line. So from 6 draw a line up to 11, enter. Go for rotate, select the line, enter. Select the base point at the 11th, go for type 45 degrees, enter. So now go for trim command. So it is not joined, so just you so once again I'll repeat, delete this. So go for line, select the conductor, 6th conductor, which is to be connected to 11, connect to 11, enter. Switch off the ortho, go for rotate, select this line, enter. Take the base point at the 6th conductor, type minus 45 degrees, enter. Similarly go for line. So from 6th conductor connect to 11, go for rotate, select the object, enter. Select the base point at 6, minus 45, enter. Now again go for line, from 6 connect to 11, enter. Go for rotate, select the line, enter. Select the base point at 11, type 45, enter. So now go for trim command, right click, so trim the unwanted portion. Now this is the bottom conductor, go for bilayer, select this as the bottom conductor. So now we can go for array, enter. So please see how many columns are there. So 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, means 9 columns. Column offset 40, select the object, select this, enter, say OK. So now be careful while drawing the solid lines towards the dummy, that is left hand side. Just to take only the solid lines. Go for copy, select this, enter. Go for copy, select the object, enter. Select the base point exactly at the end point. Now just connect the solid lines except the dummy coil. Okay, so now blindly connect dotted to the top conductor. So this line will not be equal to 45 degrees. Suppose if I go for 45 degrees connecting, so what will happen? So this will be connected to this dummy coil if I take the 45 degrees. So that's what I told. So within the dummy coil, the conductor which will be connected will not be having the 45 degrees. So just you draw a line. So as per the winding table, so 4 will be connected to 9. So if you see here, the 4 will be connected to 9 at the front pitch. So just go for line. So 4 will be connected to, so switch off the ortho, connect to 9. So this line will not have 45 degrees. So now since it is a bottom conductor, go for bilayer, select this. Now go for copy. So select this line, enter, take the base point at this end point just to connect rest of the other conductors. So there are 3 end connections here and 3 end connections are here at the front pitch, and 2 end connections are there at the front pitch. So here also you can go for 2 end connections. So go for copy, select this, enter, take the base point. This is the one end connection, this is the another end connection. So now number the end conductors at the back pitch side as well as the front pitch side. So numbers are there, Control C, Control V. So this will be one, 3 and 5. So this is the front pitch. So if I see the winding table, so this is the 18th conductor. 18 is connected to 1, 20 is connected to 3 and 22 is connected to 5. So let us go for winding table. So 18 is connected to 1, 20 is connected to 3, 22 is connected to 5. That is front pitch. Okay. So similarly towards left, so same, Control C, Control V. After selecting that, so numbering will be, so this will be 18. So here this will be 20. Next this will be 22. So similarly, when I go for the back pitch, select this, Control C, Control V. Control C, Control V. So this will be the 17th conductor. So if you see the winding table, so back pitch, so somewhere here you will be getting, so 17 is connected to 22. Okay. So this is the 17. 17 will be 21. Just a minute. It's not 17, 19. So 19 will be connected to 2 and 21 will be connected to 4. This will be 4. So this side it will be 19 and 21. So these are the end connections. So now to draw the commutator segments, just to draw a line extending to some distance, enter. So how many lines has to be drawn? So 22 plus 3. So 25. So go for array, enter. So type 25. Distance is, column offset is 40. Select this line, enter. Say OK. Sorry. So it is not 22. So I'll go for Control Z. So go for array, enter. So it is not 25. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So means 15 you type. Select the object, select this, enter. So okay. So now draw a line. So extend the segment 50% towards right, 20 centimeters, enter. Similarly towards left, 20 centimeters, enter. Just drag a line to some distance. Now just close the, or type number of commutator segments. Again go for array, enter. 15, go for select the object, select this, enter. Say OK. Now close the commutator segments. So now number the commutator segments. So since this is the first conductor which is connected to this segment, so number this as first commutator segment. So I'll select this, Control C, Control V. So numbering, switch off the ortho and objective snap. Click here. So double click on this. So this is the first commutator segment. So number this as 1. So next this will be 2. Next this will be 3. Next 4. So next will be 5. Next 6, 7, 8. This is the 9, 10, 11. Since there are 22 coils, so 11 commutator segments will be there. Next, how to number the next commutator segment. So it will be repeated with respect to the first commutator segment. Next it will be 2. Next it will be 3. Why? Because here 1 is connected to 18. So 1 is connected to 18. So that is first segment. So similarly 3 is connected to 20. So 3 is connected to 20, second segment, and 5 is connected to 22. 5 is connected to 22, third segment. So this is how the commutator segments will be numbered. So now let us go for direction of rotation. So considering the generator, so I'll go for polyline. Select the polyline. So I'll just switch on the ortho and objective snap. Draw a line. Click here. I need the arrow. Go for width W. So here I can see I need the width of the arrow. So I'll type W. Enter. Now it is asked starting width. I'll go for 20 as the starting width. Enter. Ending width, sharp edge is required. Go for 0. Enter. So now the arrow is visible. So now go for text. Select Control C, Control V. Click here. So double click on this. So type direction of rotation. direction of rotation of induced EMF. For generator. Okay, so if you want, you can increase the text size. It is 10, go for 20. So okay. So exit. Is the direction of induced EMF. Say okay. So now poles has to be fixed. So go for calculation. So calculator. So total number of conductors. So here, including the dummy conductor, it is 24 conductors into 0.7. Sorry. So Z by P, that is 24 divided by 4, 6, distance between the two conductors, into 20. So 120 is the overall pitch of the conductor, that is tau is 120. So 120 into 0.7 is the pole arc. So 84 centimeters is the pole arc. So 1.15 times tau. So 20 into 0.15. So it is 18. So now go for AutoCAD tool. Go for rectangle. Select first point here. I know the dimension. Type D. Enter. Now it is asking specify the length for rectangle. So length is 84. Enter. So width of the rectangle I can specify it as 40 or 30 or whatever as per the required. So I'll go for 40. Enter. So this is the first pole. So now from the starting conductor, take the midpoint. The distance will be 0.15 times tau. So that is 18 centimeters will be 0.15 times tau. That is 0.15 into 120. So draw a line. So now take the pole, go for copy, select the pole, enter, take the midpoint as the base point and zoom in, switch off the ortho. So this is the first pole fix. Now you can delete this line. Now go for array, enter. So 4 poles, columns, type 4. So column offset will be pole pitch, that is 120. Now select the object, select the pole, enter, say OK. So 4 poles will be fixed. So number the poles. So all the text is there. Control C, Control V. So consider this as north pole. Next will be the south pole. Next again north pole. Next again south pole. Say okay. So now the direction has to be shown inside the pole on the conductors. So show the directions only inside the pole, not outside the pole. So now since we are considered the direction of induced EMF, so as for the generator, Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, so now under north pole the EMF will be induced, will be shown in a downward direction. So go for polyline, specify the start point, just click one point here, and now I need the next point. I have to go for width. So width of the type W, enter. So I'll select width as 10, enter, end width as 0, enter. So show the, switch on the ortho, show the direction. So now go for copy, select this, enter. So take the base point of the sharp edge, switch off the ortho, zoom in, just to show the direction on the conductors. This is the north pole. So similarly, go for rotate this to the base point 180 degrees. Go for copy, select, enter. So the direction for south pole. So now brushes has to be placed. So since the axis is coinciding, go for move command. So select the full diagram, enter, take the base point at one particular point and move the diagram bit above. So now since it is a wave winding, so 2 brushes are sufficient. Go for line, so select the midpoint of the line, turn the ortho, draw vertical line here. Now go for line, select 20 centimeters towards right, enter, and similarly go for line, select this towards left 20 centimeters, enter. So now this will be represented as a brush. Now delete this vertical line. So now go for array, enter. So 2 brushes, columns will be 2, column offset same 120. Go for select object, select the brush, enter, say OK. So 2 brushes has been represented. So since it is a retrogressive wave winding, so under north pole, So positive brush polarity under north pole for progressive lap and retrogressive wave. So under north pole, so it will be positive for retrogressive wave. So go for text. Control C, Control V. So negative brush polarity, and here it is a positive brush polarity under north pole. So increase the dimension as 20 and say OK. So represent the brush as A and B. So brush A, brush B. So show the polarities. Positive, and this is negative. So, okay. So while drawing this sequence diagram, so consider as per the winding table, there are 22 conductors. So 22 plus 1 will be 23. So draw a line, enter, go for array, enter. So 23 column offset will be 20. Select the object, select this line, enter, say OK. So now draw a line at the top, which consists of back pitch. Draw a line towards front, which consists of front pitch. Go for trim command, right click. So one is connected to back pitch. So remove the alternative lines. So as usual, number the conductors as per the winding table. So go for M text, or already text is here. So select this, Control C, Control V. This is the first conductor. So double click. Okay, so 1, next will be 6, this will be 11, the conductor. So next after 11, so this will be 16, this will be 16, this will be 21. This will be 4. Next 9. Fourteen. Next after 9, this will be 14. Control Z. So after 9, 14. So next 19. Next 19. So next 2. Next 7. Next 12. After 12, this 17. Next 22. Next 5. Next here it will be 22, 5, 10. Next 15. Next 20. This is 3. 8, next 13, next 18, last 1. So okay, and just to get this below, switch off the ortho, switch off the objective snap. So okay. So now if we show the direction, it completes the sequence diagram. So now which is the conductor which is in contact with this brush? So this is the conductor, that is 6 and 11. So 6 is having upward direction. So since it is a negative brush polarity, so both will be upward direction. Positive, it will be downward direction. So 6 and 11 both are upward direction. Go for copy, select this, enter. So take the base point at the top, for copy, copy, select this, enter, select the base point, switch on the objective snap and ortho, switch on the ortho. 6, 11 will have upward direction, negative brush polarity. Go for copy, select the center, this brush A is negative. Draw a line. For line, select this, draw a line. Next, similarly for positive brush polarity, it is 12 and 17. So go for copy, select the arrow, enter, take the base point as the sharp edge, 12 and 17. So it is downward direction. So draw a line, which is brush B, positive brush polarity. So now show the alternative direction. So go for copy, enter, select this object, take the base point. So since it is having a downward direction, so this will be up, next this will be down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So this is up, this will be down. So similar, this is down, this will be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So now you can see first conductor has having downward direction EMF and one is having downward direction EMF. Similarly, go for copy the upward arrow, take the base point to the top, and connect to the rest of the other conductors. This completes your sequence diagram and the numerical. So to convert this to PDF file, save as. So save the file name as DC Armature wave winding. So dummy problem. So now convert this to PDF. Go for file, go for plot, go for name, that is convert to DWG to PDF. So paper size A4 sheet. Go for display, go to plot, go for window. Now select the diagram which has to be printed. Select the center plot, say OK. Save. So this is how the diagram will be looking if we take the printout. Okay, so this completes your DC armature wave winding with the dummy problem. Okay, this is how the dummy problem will be taken into consideration. Thank you. Please draw, have a practice. If any problem, if any doubts, so please ping me individually. Thank you.